Hello everybody, my name is Nathan. I'm a nanoscience major with minors in physics and organizational leadership. I am a College of Science student ambassador as well as your guide today. So let's go check out some College of Science buildings. This area right here is a courtyard in between Williams Hall, the building behind me, Robeson Hall, and Pamplin Hall. This area is really nice to see the leaves changing during the fall. So I'm about to explain to you where all of our majors are located, but before I do that, I want to quickly point out how I'll point out like Williams Hall is the psychology building. While psych majors will have some classes in there, you won't have all of yours. What I mean by that is that all of your professors and advisors will have their offices in your building. You might have some classes, but you won't have all of them. Like I said, Williams Hall, the one behind me, is our psychology building. We have Pamplin Hall, which houses econ. We also have Robeson Hall, which is our physics building. I spent quite a lot of time in there as I am a physics minor. We also have Davison Hall, which is our chemistry building. Fun fact about Davison is that if you do look at it from an aerial view, it does look like a periodic table. The chem majors do like to have fun. The other buildings located around this area are Daring Hall, which houses geosciences, bio and microbiology. We also have McBride Hall, which houses our mathematics department. That's on the other side of Burris Hall, that central building. One of the next buildings we will be heading to is Hahn Hall South, which does have a lot of undergraduate research, particularly for the chemistry department. However, the Academy of Integrated Sciences also is located in there. That's where the nanoscience and nanomedicine majors are located. The last building we will be heading into today is the Data and Decision Sciences building, which houses our major, computational modeling and data analytics. Campus is split up with Drillfield in the center, and most of the academic buildings are located on this side, the academic side. However, there are a few on the other side, on that residential side of campus. We have two of them, being Sandy Hall and Hutchison Hall. Sandy Hall houses our neuroscience major, and Hutchison Hall houses our statistics major. Welcome to Davison 281, otherwise known as the Gen Chem Lecture Hall. This is where they teach general chemistry. They do teach some other classes in here as well. However, it is primarily for those Gen Chem classes. One of the really good parts about this lecture hall is I personally find it really easy to kind of sit wherever and still learn really well. There's two giant projectors up on the front board, and for all the people who sit in the back row, there are smaller flat screen TVs, so you'll be able to see throughout the entire lecture hall. Plus, this is a pretty good example of what a larger lecture hall would look like here at Virginia Tech. One story that I really like is how my buddy, who was a biological science major, was not really excited to take general chemistry, and just because he wasn't really strong in it. And so he had to still take general chemistry, and after he struggled a little bit, he went to his professor's office hours. And through going to this office hours, the professor taught him general chemistry in a way that he not only understood it, but enjoyed it. He actually succeeded in that class, got a really good grade, and he actually got a paid TA position. He got offered the opportunity to come back and be a TA for that general chemistry class that he originally didn't like. So those faculty office hours that my friend uses are a really great resource here at Virginia Tech. You get your professors, somebody who has a PhD or similar type of degree in the subject matter you're learning about, has to have these mandatory times during the week where they're in their offices and all they're there for is to answer your questions. You get these really intelligent people answering your questions, people who make your exams. You get to go talk to them, and it doesn't even have to just be about the course load. Your professors are also there to mentor you, so you can always just go in there and have a chat with them. One of the other great resources we have here is the Student Success Center. If for whatever reason you don't want to go to your faculty member for help, you can get free tutoring by somebody who is your peer at the Student Success Center to help you out in a class that you may be struggling in. One of the other great resources, and one of my favorites, is our Cook Counseling Center. So let's say that you're struggling for an exam and you want to just have somebody help you. That's where the Cook Counseling Center can come into play, and you can go to them for that help for those high stressful moments. They also have my favorite resource, which is the VT Therapy Dogs, which have their own office hours, which are always really nice to go to, especially if you just want puppy cuddles. The last resource we offer here is something that I personally use, being the services for students with disabilities. And that's for any visible or invisible disability, whether that be you broke your arm or you're somebody like me who has a learning disability. They're there to help you out, get you the resources that you need to be the most successful at college. Welcome to Hahn Hall South. This houses one of our 2 indoor atriums, which makes this space one of my favorite to come study just because of all the natural light. The main function of this building is for research labs. The research labs are where grad students, undergrads, professors come together to solve problems and advance our scientific knowledge. One of my favorite parts about this building, though, are the secret tunnels that we have going on. We have a few secret tunnels throughout campus, but the main one is in this building. It goes between Davison Hall, this building, Hahn Hall South, all the way over to Hahn Hall North. And it's mostly there to help transfer different types of chemicals between these buildings that you don't want exposed to outside environments, the weather, rain, whatever it may be. But they're also available open to the public, so you can just walk in between them if it is really raining outside and you don't want to go outside that day. Welcome to the Geoscience Museum. This place is a part of our geoscience department, and it is one of the really cool spots here on campus. It's this kind of little nook that not many people know about. It has a whole bunch of really fantastic things in here. One of my favorite is definitely this T-Rex skull behind me. It's really cool to just be able to hey, I can go see a T-Rex skull whenever I want. There's also a whole bunch of really cool gems, rocks, and other types of minerals located throughout this museum space, and they're always really interesting to look at and find new ones that I haven't seen before. There's also a few study spaces in here, so if you really wanted to, you could say you can study next to a T-Rex skull, which once again, is really awesome in my opinion. Another use for this space aligns with Virginia Tech's motto of Ut Prosum, which is Latin for that I may serve, which is a big part of the College of Science and also what it means to be a Hokie. A whole bunch of elementary schools, middle schools, and other community members take field trips in here and get to fall in love with science. Welcome to Classroom Building, otherwise known as New Classroom Building or NCB. This building, we like to say that almost every College of Science major will have a class in this building at one point. I know I've had a class here for the past 2 years. The classrooms are really modular, allowing you to switch between lecture style and group style classroom settings based upon what the professor wants. This building also has some really amazing study spaces like the one right behind me that does make it really easy to study in this space. Another really cool part about this building is it houses one of our really unique programs here at Virginia Tech called the Integrated Science Curriculum, otherwise known as ISC. It's an alternative way of learning your intro, chem, bio, physics, Calc 1 classes in a collaborative space instead of in one of those big lecture halls where you're only getting taught at. They focus on collaboration, working with each other's strengths, and they do have smaller class sizes. Welcome to the Data and Decision Sciences building. This building's mostly used for quantitative sciences majors or anybody taking a data science class. This building has some really great study space areas like the one behind me, but it also has some really interesting cutting edge classrooms that particularly focus on data visualization. With that being said, this is the end of our tour. Thank you guys so much for joining us today. I really hope to see you guys on campus soon. And with that being said, let's go Hokies.